I am a music therapist here at Integrative Medicine as part of Norma Free Breast Care Center, and we are here today to share integrative health techniques to help embellish our mental health. We'll start off today with David. David has been our acupuncturist at Yale New Haven Health's Integrative Medicine Department for 9 years, where he treats all the side effects of treatment, as well as whatever the public might come in for. He believes in consulting patients about reducing their stress and living a healthier lifestyle. Living a healthier lifestyle, it's most overlooked, but it's most important in the treatment. So a round of applause for David.
Thank you. Thank you, Cassandra. Stress. Who's stressed?
Nobody. Nobody here.
I think we all know when we're stressed, right? You have that feeling of tension, right? But I think it's a big part of acupuncture. That's what I do here. I treat the side effects of cancer treatment. So, obviously when people get a diagnosis, they're very stressed. They're really concerned about their health, about their future. And then the treatment is very stressful. So that's what a lot of people come in with. They may have all kinds of other issues, but that's definitely going to be part of it. So I think we all know when we're stressed, but what I found is that many people are confused about how stress really affects us. So I just want to kind of go over some of the mechanisms and really bring it into your conscious mind. It will make a difference. So we're busy, we're going through our day, and most of the time it's difficult to stop and say, let me think about what's the best way to go through my day. How is stress affecting my day? We just get through it, right? But I really want to go over a couple steps. So the next time you go through your day and you're starting to get caught up in like the busyness of your day, you can slow that process down and really understand what it is. It really helps your well-being, really helps your enjoyment of your day. So let's just talk about that a little bit. Okay, so there's all kinds of fantastic new evidence now about stress. There's all kinds of testing about stress, how it affects us. So I get a lot of my info lately from Harvard Health. The info on that site is a little more approachable, a little more fun, but it's still very scientific and very much evidence-based. So let's just start with the definition of stress. It's a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. So there's a whole process that happens here. You might get a phone call. You might have to stop short in your car. But do you feel that moment where something happens and you feel some sort of chemicals in your veins, right? All this happens before you can even think about it. Before you see something, before you actually recognize an image, it goes through your amygdala. And your amygdala identifies any problems, and if there's something that it thinks is going to be an issue, it will already start the stress process. It's really interesting. So if your body sees someone coming towards you that's a threat, before you can decide in your conscious mind whether that person is a threat or not, the stress process may already start. So we're all kind of cavemen still, someone comes up behind you and grabs you, that's probably going to start the stress process in a lot of you, but probably not all of you. Some of you might be kind of, really casual about it, but most people that's going to start a stress reaction. So what happens in the stress reaction? It starts the fight or flight response. So the amygdala assesses this threat and sends a message to the adrenal glands to make adrenaline. And adrenaline starts that whole feeling that you have, oh my God, Okay, breathing gets faster, heart rate and blood pressure both go up, and then this other process happens. One of the most important things that's overlooked, I think, is the circulation comes away from the gut and goes into our muscles. So rather than processing this food, it gets ready for what we have to do. Do we have to run? Do we have to fight? And there's some other things that happen. It releases glucose for quick energy, and your brain gets into a quick thinking mode. What do I got to do? And your pupils dilate too, so you can see things a little differently. So we may decide like we don't want something to stress us out, but I think we all know we have some things that do stress us out, and you can't really stop that. So part of the purpose of this talk is I just want you to be aware that stress is not just some nebulous kind of thing like, yeah, I'm kind of stressed. Stress is a system of the body. It's the sympathetic nervous system. So once that's triggered, it's going to do its action. We're going to get stressed out, and then hopefully we're going to do this other process, which is the opposite of stress. This is the parasympathetic nervous system. The issue that you're worried about is over, and so what happens is then we want to go into what's called rest and digest. Okay, so rest and digest is supposed to do the opposite of what happened, okay? The danger is over, the circulation is supposed to return to the gut, and breathing and heart rate come down, and actually a lot of social things start to come again. Some people call it feed and breathe, which is kind of a joke, but rest and digest is about, having a normal, relaxed life. And that's when you repair all the wear and tear that goes on in your body. And feed and breathe is a joke because, those are activities that thrive in us when we're feeling good. Our libido returns, fertility is better, and a good healthy appetite comes, right? Okay. So here's this page, what does not help reduce stress? I'm going to skip that for a second. Okay. So we all live in the Northeast here. We're very busy. Right? A lot of us have, we got families, we got busy jobs, probably got a lot of hobbies, you're calling old friends, okay? Really busy. I see a lot of clients in here, and that's what I observe the most, is how busy we all are. In other parts of the country, people actually do not schedule that much stuff. In other parts of the world, they don't schedule that much stuff. We hold ourselves to like this very high level of shoulds. I have to do this, I have to do that, right? I think we all feel that. It's part of us, we feel it's hard to picture it without it. No, I need to do all these things, right? But those are great, those are our ideals. We have like a really strong pursuit to live like a very high standard of life. Social calendars, all these different things, right? Tennis, mixing that in, all this other stuff, going to see family, yoga, all great stuff. But I think what happens, what I see with clients is we do not schedule in the relaxed time. We sort of forget that that's just as important. It really is just as important. And we have all this stuff on one side, all these things that we need to do. And sometimes when you're done with those, it's time to go to bed. I mean, I had that the last 2 weeks. I was like, I'm done with this. But, so, this is when the repair happens. This is when your body has a chance to balance out the effects of stress, which is, so much of this has to do with the gut. So what's a real world example? Okay, a lot of people come in and they're like, I have diarrhea every day for 2 years. I had someone today. That wasn't quite that long, but I've had many people like that. So the small intestine and the large intestine are just not really doing their job. the food isn't getting processed, and so they're not, and also the large intestine is not reuptaking the water, right? So a lot of times people are shocked that they're like, well, it's the food. They always tell me this. It's the food that I'm eating. I need to cut this out, okay? So they'll cut that out, and pretty quickly they actually have something else, or maybe, they're trying to find this key of the right foods that's not going to cause these issues, right? Now, Chinese medicine has, I'm an acupuncturist, it all comes from China. They have a completely other way of looking at it. And so rather than saying that's the issue, it's actually the stress that starts this whole thing. That's the real cause of so much issues with the gut. Reflux, Crohn's disease, IBS, definitely, chronic constipation, chronic diarrhea, and you can fit a lot of other things that are still in the same area. Troubles with the cycle, amenorrhea. So, when we're stressed all the time, and it's pulling the circulation away from the gut, that really happens with adrenaline. And there's 3 other big chemicals that the adrenal glands release. It's pulling circulation out and getting it in here, right? And we're so used to living on that we don't really realize that this is reducing the gut, mobility, the gut health. So this has been reduced for so long. When it's time, what happens is inflammation builds up here in all those organs, in the intestines, in the stomach, in the liver. That's all processing your food. That's where you get all the energy to build your blood. We're breaking down this food, we're taking it out, we're putting it in the blood, we're moving it all around, and we're getting rid of what we don't want. It's all like the basic corners of life there. So when this starts to get inflamed because it's just not getting the blood supply it needs, it's not really going to process the food as well. So then all these other diseases kind of manifest out of that. That's, we would say that's probably 75% of this stuff can be at least improved a lot by keeping in mind this stress mechanism. So any part of acupuncture, that's what we use, but to bring back that relaxation. A lot of people, they get the needles in, they're worried about the needles, but then they really relax and they're like, oh, what's this feeling? Oh. And we can stimulate nerves that come up the front of the leg and then go right through an organ, and it raises the function of the organ. It kind of wakes it up, stops this inflammation that's going on. So that's the rest and digest state. That is actually Western medicine. It's called the rest and digest state. It's the opposite of fight or flight, right? Okay. So there's a lot of ways to get the rest and digest going. And I think we all hear some of these ways to get the rest and digest going, and we're like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. I too felt this way about many things. And as being an acupuncturist, you're introduced to a lot of things. You get a little older, you get a little busier, your body starts to feel a little wear and tear. So I'm starting to try a lot of these things, and I hear from my clients what works, what doesn't work, right? So I'm going to just tell you some of these things that I want you to be open to. One thing that's great is journaling. Sounds really kind of fluffy, right? I really got to take out this book at the end of the day and write down my thoughts for the day. Some people will really balk at that, but it's great because it brings them to awareness, what kind of day you had, what happened. You didn't just go from one thing to the next, and just to be aware of that stress process. What kind of day did I have? Did I enjoy this? I did have some digestive stuff today, or I was tired today. What did I do yesterday? It's really just bringing that process into your mind. It really works. It's amazing. And okay, so we have some other stuff. Qigong, Harvard Health, which some of the technical terms I took straight from there for this talk. Harvard Health goes on and on about the real-world evidence of Qigong. It's amazing. They have courses in it at Harvard now. They are crazy about Qigong. And Qigong is, I won't get too much into it. We have someone else to do that, but it is really great at getting this state going, the rest and digest, and really helping your body do what it needs to do. Let's see what else we got here. Nice list. One thing that I really find helps clients, sometimes they come in, they're late, and they're breathing fast, and I want to relax them, but they're already so stressed about getting here on time, they roll in, and you can feel it. They're in a stress response. So, something I've recommended to people, if they take it, it works. Do not schedule one thing to the next. Break it up a bit. So, I think I can make it in the schedule, you're looking at your calendar on your phone, trying to squeeze it in. Don't do that. It's just, you really want to be present for all the things that you do and not get that stress response when you're driving in your car on 95. You got a few minutes to get there. I really recommend giving yourself the time that you need. It really helps. Exercise, really big one. I think we don't need much explanation on why that's really de-stressing. It is. Meditation, I think a lot of people do not know how to start meditation. There is now so many ways to do meditation. It's all out there, and I really recommend that you give some of them a try. And if it doesn't work in the beginning, there is another person. I guarantee there is somebody out there who can lead you on a meditation that will really take you somewhere. And that's really to slow down this process in our body and get this de-stressing mode going. It really works. It's amazing. I'm not really going to get into the phone and all the stressors that we can get from the phone. I think we all know them now. An article that I read on Harvard Health is about how cuddling someone, just cuddling, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and it releases all kinds of positive brain chemicals. And it's that closeness. Some other ones, prayer. Some people are into it, some people are not. Prayer is amazing. It's real-world evidence that it really helps you relax. It really helps you soothe the stress. Pets, real evidence on pets. They really, really help us. Playing music in a group really helps. Okay. I just want to say a little bit. I talked about the Northeast, how busy we are. So I looked at the happiness index of different countries, and it's interesting. Definitely, year after year now, they have all these questions that they ask people from different countries, how happy you are, why you are happy, what do you feel does that. So definitely, the happiest countries are more affluent, they have more money, they have more social services. But there's a lot of other things here, which is social connection. That seems to be beyond money, social connection is one of the biggest ones. So some cultures are a little better at really getting together all the time, whether it's with relatives or friends, and the data from this seems to say that really makes people feel good. Social connection, getting out. One thing about the phone is it's so easy to get distracted by the phone in that little world that we're not connecting with real people. Yeah, you can call people, that's probably some social connection, I think. That's arguable if that's as good as face-to-face connection. But yeah, the data was amazing. So much of it is about how much time and how much support people get from their community, from the people around them. And the one thing about modernity is we can go somewhere and not really know our neighbors and stuff like that. So that's another thing. So getting out and trying these just different meditations and stuff, it really does create some sort of support for our mind, for our personality, for de-stressing. Going to Qigong class. So, yeah, another thing to think about. You had to follow me on the PDF, and I went all over the place. I appreciate whatever work you had to do. A quick talk about traditional Chinese medicine and food. Food is huge. I'm getting close to the end of time, so I'm just going to talk quickly about what some of the foods are that really cause less taxation on the body, cause less stress. Okay, so there's no one prescription like this is what you should eat. In Chinese medicine, they really say it's different for each person. So someone with like a really fiery gut, you know, acid coming up, reflux, it can affect their voice. You can hear it when they come in sometimes. You want to cool that down. We give them like really bitter greens, dandelion salads, things like that, and to lay off the spicy food. Very, very often they really like spicy meats. It really depends on the person. Let's see what they have here. Yeah. So people with liver issues, gallbladder issues, they have to avoid greasy foods. You know, causes the liver and the gallbladder to work overtime, make more bile. It's a strain. Yes, the importance of the balanced diet. Americans love to find one new food and just eat tons of that one new food. They're really obsessed with it. It's the new thing. You know, there's always a new one. So just kale, just avocados, just cauliflower. Now it's something else. Now they're saying milk is great. You know, it always changes, but you know, there's a huge importance to a balanced diet. Not too much of anything. But in Chinese medicine, the real root of all the meals should be lightly cooked vegetables, actually not raw food. I know there's a lot of raw food components. People love to just eat raw food. In Chinese medicine, we say that really tires out the gut, and those people very quickly cannot eat other foods. They can't eat dairy very quickly, they can't eat wheat, and they think that they're on a health journey, but in Chinese medicine, we say that the just raw really tires out the gut. You really want to have some cooked vegetables. Some salads is great, but really cooked vegetables. And if you watch people over a long time, see many, many clients, I really feel like that's true. Your mind says, well, you know, all the vitamins are in the raw foods, and there are tons of vitamins in raw foods. There's enzymes there, but taking all that out is a very big strain on the gut as well, just like stress is. So cooked vegetables are amazing because you can actually get the vitamins out. This is the theory. Coffee and nicotine release adrenaline, so it's not actually giving you any energy. It's telling your body to make stress hormones, and we run on those stress hormones. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I needed to wait till the night before a paper was due to sort of get that paper done sometimes, right? I just couldn't get going. It's because I was addicted. People say now, they're saying that this is a form of addiction. That's arguable, but I was so used to living a stressed life that I couldn't garner the energy to get it going before that. And so I was waiting for that adrenaline kick in to do the paper because I was just not used to doing it the normal way. But if you just kind of pay attention to that, waiting to the last minute thing, it's amazing. You do not need to do that to yourself. Like you can actually just being aware that that could be what you are doing is interesting. Don't wait till the last minute to do it because it's stress. Stress tires out your body, and you're going to have to really work in relaxation. It's kind of a crash course in it. You know, we're getting close to the end of time, but I want you to be aware of stress and what it does. It tires you out. It's an energy credit card, stress. So just be aware of that process. Any questions? Yeah. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, David. And now we're going to have an opportunity to replenish, or two opportunities to replenish that energy credit card today. Up next, we have Alan Riccardi. Alan is a licensed professional counselor whose practice specializes in working with people who have been diagnosed with cancer. She provides emotional support and helps people develop coping skills as they navigate their cancer diagnosis. Alan has been part of the Integrative Medicine team for 3 years and offers individual and group therapy. Welcome, Alan.
Thank you. Well, I don't think I could have asked for a better segue than what David gave me, because he kind of made this very easy for me, because now you guys have all this wonderful information on the stress response and fight or flight. And what I see in my practice is, like Sandra said, 95% of my practice are people that have been diagnosed with cancer, They're somewhere in that process, either newly diagnosed, in treatment, or post-treatment, and they're stressed. They're very stressed. The minute you hear the word cancer, the stress starts. And as we know, the treatment process is stressful. So part of my job, a big part of my job, is teaching people how to regulate that stress and how to deal with the extreme anxiety that come from biopsies, scans, operations, chemotherapy, side effects, hormone replacement therapy. All those things, people come in, they're frightened, they don't understand what's going on, and their body feels so different to them. And so one of the things that I use as a coping skill is to try to find a relaxation technique that works for that person. I think most of us know about, breathe, just breathe. And that's very important. Breathing is very, very important. But it's not the only relaxation technique out there. And it's not even the best one in every single situation. Sometimes the breathing can get you to a certain point and it might help a little bit, but you just need a little something more. What I'm going to be showing you all today is visualization. And it's all about imagination in the head. And if you remember when we were kids and we would play games with our friends and, maybe you were a superhero or a fireman or a princess or whatever the role was, we had very, very active imaginations and they were fun. And then we grew up and imagination became a little bit darker. It became more of imagining maybe not so good things happening. Thinking about, imagining the traffic that's ahead of you as you deal with the crazy roads around here. Or imagining what the doctor's gonna tell you at a doctor's appointment. Or imagining how your spouses or your children are gonna respond to a certain situation. Our imagination is very active, but it's dark. It tends to go to a darker place. But we can also access the light. We can also access the goodness and the relaxation response that David was talking about through imagination. And what I'm going to walk you through is using our 5 senses to ground ourselves in an imaginary safe space that we create. And this is a great skill to know because you can utilize this anywhere. You have to sit in a waiting room and wait to go in to see a doctor. You have an unpleasant conversation with a boss coming up, or with somebody else. Something that provokes anxiety and scared feelings. You can utilize this skill. And I'm going to walk you through it, and they're more abbreviated forms of it. But what I'd like to do today is get you in the practice of how to create a safe space for yourself. And because the interesting thing about the brain is that stress response that we were talking about, our brain, is complex and sophisticated as it is, there is science to show that our brains can't tell the difference between an imagined danger and an actual danger. And that's big. So the good side of that is that if we can imagine and create a safe space in our heads, our body is going to respond accordingly. The adrenaline is going to start going down. The rest and digest is going to start getting kicked in. And it feels better. So before we begin the exercise, what I'd like people to do is think of a safe space. Think of something, a place. It can be imaginary, it can be a vacation spot, it can be a room in your home, it can be the ocean, the forest. Any place that you can kind of bring to mind that is not cluttered with a lot of complex emotions. It just feels good. I have a client that has a beautiful backyard, and she loves to sit out there and meditate and just read and relax, and that's her safe space. She brings that to mind. Other people have a favorite room in their home, or they saw a scene in a movie. Other people imagine being on the top of a mountain or floating on a cloud or something. Doesn't matter. It just means it just has to resonate with you. And if you're struggling with that, it's okay. Think of a favorite soothing color, and we'll go through the exercise anyway. So just take a moment, think of your safe space, and then we'll begin. So to begin, I want people to just sort of settle into their chairs. Settle in. Ideally, have both feet on the floor. You want to be nicely grounded onto the floor. Settle back. Arms can be on the armrests or resting gently, hands in the lap. Back straight. And if it feels safe and okay with you, just gently close your eyes. And we're going to begin to slow down the breath. Nice slow breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Nice and slow and smooth. And as you're slowing down and deepening your breath, take an inventory of your body. Start to notice if you're holding any tension in your head, your jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, belly, legs. Just note it. And as you breathe, see if you can just let that tension soften, melt, just a little. Imagine sinking just a little bit further into the chair, allowing it to take all your weight. As you breathe in and out, noticing the belly as it expands and contracts. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine that you're entering your safe space. I'm going to guide you to use all your senses to ground yourself in this space. First, look around you using your imaginary sense of sight. What does this place look like? Is it inside or outside? Is it day or night? Sunny or cloudy? Notice the details. Are you alone? Or maybe there are other people there, or animals, a favorite pet. What are you doing? Are you sitting, moving, standing, or maybe lying down? If you're outside, look up and notice the sky. Look at the horizon. If you're inside, notice the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Is there any furniture in your room? Is the room light or dark? Choose something soothing to look at and observe it for just a few moments. Next, use your imaginary sense of hearing. What do you hear? Do you hear other people's voices? The movement of animals? If outside, do you hear any nature sounds like the wind or the ocean? Do you hear music? Choose something soothing to hear. Then listen for a few moments using your imaginary sense of hearing. Now I'd like you to use your imaginary sense of smell. If you're inside, notice what it smells like. Is it filled with the sense of cooking food, cut flowers, cleaning products, or perhaps smoke from a fireplace? If you're outside, can you smell the air, the ocean, the grass, the trees, the flowers? Choose to smell something soothing and calming in your safe place. And focus your attention on that sense of smell for a moment. Next, use your imaginary sense of taste. Are you eating or drinking anything in your seat? If you are, is it sweet, sour, spicy, bitter? Choose something soothing to taste and focus on this sense for a few moments. Last, notice if you can feel anything with your imaginary sense of touch. What are you sitting on or standing on in your seat? What are you wearing? What do your clothes feel like? Soft, silky, rough, cool or warm? Can you feel the air around you? The breeze? If you're eating or drinking something, can you feel the texture and temperature of it in your mouth? Are you perhaps holding anything in your hand, like a rock or sand or a favorite object? What is the texture like? Is it bumpy, smooth, hard? Maybe you're touching water or an animal's fur. What are you touching in your seat? just focus on that sense of soothing touch. Now take some time to explore your safe space using all your senses, all your imaginary senses. Recognize how safe, relaxed you feel here. Know that you can return to this place whenever you need to feel safe and calm. And just take a moment or two to look around your imaginary space one last time to remember what it looks, smells, and feels like. And keeping your eyes closed, allow this image to gently fade away into the darkness and return your attention to your breath. Slow, even, smooth breaths in and out through the nose. Take a moment to observe how your body feels now compared to when you started the visualization. Then, when you feel ready, gently return your focus to this room and open your eyes. How was that experience for people?
Nice.
Do you feel that this is something that you might be able to use going forward? Part of what happens when we become stressed is we get stuck in here and we lose track of this. And by using your 5 senses to ground yourself in your safe space, you're also grounding yourself in the moment. You're not rushing ahead 10 million miles into the future or thinking about regrets in the past. You're right here, right now. And it can help. So, any questions? Oh, David?
I like that you told us, you know, the brain doesn't know the difference between an imagined thing and a real thing. So then I knew why I was doing this meditation. Not really someone who would be gravitating towards the visualization, but that made me think like, oh, this is worthwhile. Let me give it a try. And I'm glad I did. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's something I think you could use at any time.
You can.
Yeah.
You
In
can.
the night, you know, sometimes there are things that help just
It's a nice.
quiet your brain.
It does, it quiets the brains. One of the things, and David touched upon this, we're so busy. We go from one thing to the next thing to the next, and there's no transition. There's just one stressor that kind of leads into the next. This can also lead as a gap, like a little bridge between day and sleep, or one event and another. And the more you practice it, because I've been doing this for many years now, it becomes faster in the sense that you can bring that place back to you much faster. You can smell it. You can, for me, my space is always the ocean, being by the water. And so I go on walks and I deliberately feed my memory bank. That's how I think of it. I touch the rocks, I touch the sand, I smell. I'm very deliberate. I listen to the waves so that I can recall all this information when I do my safe space visualization. Just something to think about, you know, with your own.
So it takes practice too.
Yeah, it does.
Like all the things that when I came here, thinking of the 3 things I have to do after, and it completely went out of my mind of what I had to do after it. Which is good, maybe I won't do it.
Excellent. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Ellen, for that grounding and centering process. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Up next and last, we have Julie Moffat. Julie is our Qigong instructor here at Smilow. She teaches people how to slow down, to be more present, trust the unknown, and practice self-love. She specializes in Qigong for lessening anxiety and emotional stress. She teaches simple but powerful ways for people to improve their health by lessening anxiety, stress, sadness, and learning to let go of daily frustrations. It brings Julie great joy to help others learn ways to take their health into their own hands. Julie holds certifications from the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi, Radiant Lotus Women's Qigong, Level 1 and 2, and Organ Cleansing Qigong. Welcome, Julie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to invite you to stand if you wish. If you prefer to stay seated, seated is also fine. So if you are seated, uncross your legs, and as we did in the meditation, which was beautiful, your feet are grounded. We can imagine that we're outside in the healing garden, we have our shoes off, and we're actually discharging. Look at Cassandra. You can take your shoes off if you wish. There's more of a connection with the earth, and Qigong allows us to really connect with nature. Look outside. Don't even worry about looking at me. Actually, why don't we face a little bit more? Face the trees. That color green is profoundly healing for your body. It's actually the color that rejuvenates the eyes, the liver, and the gallbladder, the organs of springtime. So you might see me. No? Yeah? Shake. You can look over here for a moment. And let's shake like we have no inhibitions. We are shaking to, number one, bring stress to the surface and let it go. And by stress, I mean stagnation. That can be physical, that can be emotional. For me, I can only come from what I know. It's usually emotional for me. It's usually, it's worry, it's fear. And you know what animals do when they're in a state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? They shake. Insects shake, dragonflies shake, bumblebees shake. So shake your whole body. Let's go, Minnie. Minnie comes to my classes, and each time you practice, you discover something new about your own ability to turn on healing mechanisms within the body. So we're not going to say the word S-T-R-E-S-S anymore, because we're going to come from a place of choice right now and feel the joy. Bring it down through the body, as if you're showering your body in this profoundly healing energy. Look outside, look at the sky, look at the trees, and bring down that healing color of green. This is your visualization. You become one with nature. As you bring in that sense of peacefulness, that sense of rootedness, that sense of expansiveness, you can become the sky. You're limitless. You can become the earth. You can recycle all that you no longer need. It's a long, slow, deep breath in, and a very long, slow, deep, gentle breath out. So it's the qualities of your breath I want you to pay attention to. Not how you breathe, not how much you breathe. Can you slow your breath down? Can you gentle your breath? Can you smooth out the edges of your breath? And when you slow your breath down, your mind slows down. So that perhaps all those things you have to do after this workshop are no longer necessary. You realize you're here to take care of you, and you are the one that matters. And Qigong puts you into that place of choice. So smile, even if you don't feel like it. Because smiling puts you into a place of healing. And it is a tool that you can do when you're under stress. You can smile. And your body, your cells will go, wow, I feel the resonance of a smile in my cells, in my organ systems, because there are no bad parts inside of your extraordinary body. Every part of your body is working. So smile into all the parts that are working for you. And feel that it's safe to go within. Yes, very good. You can tell this is called Qi bath. Qi means energy. In fact, if we just did this for the rest of the class, you'd be getting a lot of benefits. Physically, you're moving the lymph. Our arms are raising up, our armpits are breathing, which is heart one. And then we guide the hands down and we kindly and compassionately look inside. We scan. Very good. Let's flutter our fingers and feel the sense of newness, of freshness going through the body. Ah, good. So the two things we just did, shake and shower, I love. I shake and shower whenever I need to de-stress. So let's just shake again. You might be a horse. Don't be afraid to make some noise. You might be a dragonfly and have to flutter your wings. Very good. And then we shower. We gather and we shower this vitality. We shower what we see outside into our bodies, into our organ systems, into our cells. Because always everything is changing. In every moment, your body is changing. So let's have gratitude for our beautiful bodies in all parts. Lovely. Take one little hand. Our hands are magical. They send energy into the body and they send energy out. So we might just look outside and imagine we have the ability, because you do, to absorb the trees, even through the glass window. Bring that tree energy into your body. And if you're watching through Zoom, face a window, or even go outside, and just invite in the sense of flexibility and adaptability, of change into your body through your hands. And then face your hands in towards your body, and let's scan up the face. We're just going to do a little self-Reiki. Scan the brain, smile into the limbic system, and you might even say to your limbic system, shh, shh, we are safe. Scan into your breast and your lungs. You can do this. We're circling energy through our intention, through the tissues. Smile into the liver, that's on the right, through the belly, the gut, to the left, the spleen and stomach and the pancreas. And imagine your organs returning to their original blueprint. Smile into your ovaries, even if they've been removed, your womb, your gut, your lymph, and then just start to gather what you need. And I call Qigong, by the way, Qigong is an ancient practice from China, at least 5,000 years old. But I call Qigong intelligent movement. You already know how to do this. We just have forgotten these practices of tenderness, of gentleness. So scoop it up. You deserve to feel taken care of. And I would just call this earthing. It's like I'm bringing in all that I need. I see it, I smell it, I taste it, just like Ellen said. I feel it. And I go down my meridians of spleen and stomach, primarily the front of the body. And this is when David's introduction is so beautiful. We can loop it all together now. We are basically doing acupuncture without the needles. I want you to get familiar with your earth body. Because when we feel our earth body, we feel more safe. Feel your roots going down through your feet into the earth. Spiraling down as you notice that your core is actually connected to the earth's core. And the earth is rising up to meet you. Gently open your eyes, go down, scoop up the earth. Like literally going to think about going into the earth. I'm going to soften up my groin area. I'm going to fold the earth up into my body. And I'm going to very gently, yes, massage this part of my body, which is lungs, chest, breast. And I'm going to use the warmth of my hands to visualize melting any intensity, any emotions that are intense, melting. And then I'm just going to rest here, like I'm giving myself a little hug. I'm going to make sure that my corners of my mouth are still lifted up. My eyes are smiling, my belly is smiling. Every cell is like an effervescent bubble. I am safe, I am healthy, and I am peaceful. And I feel myself anchored in the present moment. I envision a rainbow of light around my body. And I honor that I need to take care of myself. I am the most important person. And then I can take care of other people. So ask yourself, what can I let go of on this Thursday evening? Physical or emotional? Think about one small thing that you're ready to release. I want you to trust the practice. This is like alchemy. Trust that you have the ability to pull it out of your body. So take a long, slow, deep inhale. As you exhale, let your hands, like vectors of light, pull away from your chest. Imagine that you're magnetizing out whatever that is that you needed to let go of. Release it down into the earth and up into the sky. And then slowly, every finger a different color of light, you paint an image of this beautiful healing energy around your body. It's your energy. And you're the one creating it. And as this goes down below your feet, back up into your body, and then it opens up like this beautiful lotus. Lift up. Maybe it's like a prayer-like position or a candle of light. You bring and you tether that brightness down in front of your heart. Are you still smiling? And here we say a blessing for what we need. So don't be shy, ask for what you need. Ask the trees, ask your ancestors, ask your animals, ask your spiritual guides for assistance in your healing. And feel energetically all your support systems line up around you. We do a little loving kindness of reciting to ourselves in the present moment some statements. I am safe. Let's just say that together. I am safe. Take a nice sigh of relief. I am healing.
I am healing.
Long, deep, slow exhale. I am peaceful. I am grateful.
I'm grateful.
I am happy.
I'm happy.
I am connected.
And connected.
Very good. Put your hands down and thank the earth. She is your greatest mother of all. She's always there with you. And if you ever feel ungrounded, unstable, remind yourself that the earth mothers you, nurtures you. Place your hands on your belly and do a little self-touch if you're okay doing this. It's a diamond shape. It's a diamond mudra. Face it. Yeah. Thumbs on navel, index fingers pointing down. The diamond shape is symbolic of all the diamonds of light within your body. So let's cycle through and smile into the liver and the gallbladder and just do a nod of like, I am kind and forgiving toward myself. Up to your heart, I'm joyful and creative. Nod, yes, yes. Down to your spleen and stomach and pancreas. I trust and accept that I'm in the right place in my life. Up to your lungs, your knights in shining armor. I am courageous. I come from a place of choice. Down to the back body, to your kidneys. I am an intuitive, wise inner being, and I listen to my inner dialogue. Very good. We can just massage the belly. Belly massage is calming and grounding. You can do it standing, seated, lying down. We do clockwise and counterclockwise, so it doesn't matter which way you go first. Just think about both directions and the body coming into harmony and balance. So this will help if your bowels are too loose. This will help if your bowels are not moving. It really works. And then bring the hands around to your back body and massage your kidneys. So hands, palms can face in or palms can face out, or you can just use one. Doesn't matter. Just massage the kidneys, warm them up. The kidneys are the organs of fear. And when one is in a state of fear, your kidneys need warmth. They need massage. By the way, we are in kidney time of day. Great time to massage the kidneys. A little tapping now. And a little sound of yeah, very good. The kidneys like vibration, they like sound, they like massage, and they are gonna work for you now in a way that you'll feel more energy, yet without any side effects. So I always do kidney massage once a day. Let's do a little more massage, as Qigong is all these different components. We're going to just start with our arm facing out, and we're gonna sweep down and then stroke up. Exhale. Inhale. The meridians, as we trace, we brush off what we don't need and then we draw in what we do need. Slightly different technique. With a cup, a little well in the palm of your hand, you're going to cup. Doesn't really matter how you do this, by the way. So it can be the inside or the outside of the arm. The main thing is that all your fingers are touching. And we're cupping. Cupping, you may have heard of cupping. Cupping is a Chinese practice. Guess what? You can do it for free. So we're cupping to vibrate into the bones, but we're also cupping to draw out stuff that's on the surface. And we know what that is. We don't need to name it again. How about the armpit? Really gently. Because soft overcomes hard. We never pummel the body. Tuck your thumb in, it works more like a vacuum. This is extraordinarily good for the lymph. Cassandra, how much time do I have?
3 or 4 more.
Okay, perfect. I can even gently go along the side of my chest, very gently. And I might even just hold, for men and women, I might just circle around my breast and hold it with love and tenderness. One arm shake. You might notice your arms feel different. And that was just such a, actually very relatively fast practice, but let's just bring our arms into balance. Let's, and bring in what you need. Sort of like I'm letting go of what I don't need. It just literally runs off my fingertips like water. And then I'm going to go right into this beautiful and extraordinarily efficient practice of cupping. If you come to class, I'll teach you more. I also teach a Zoom class every Wednesday, so even if you can't come to that class, I can send you the recording. We want to spend extra time on the joints of the elbows, inside of the elbows where the lymph nodes are, down toward the wrist. Because our joints are gateways for energy. You can get stuck. Give yourself a nice, happy clap. And an applause for showing up to take care of yourself. And then up the outside, again, building bone and vacuuming out the you know what. We should do the armpit. This is a really good point. A lot of practitioners say this is every day for longevity. But notice how soft it is. You actually can barely hear it. But you can also hold and release. Hold and release. You can massage around the breast area. This is good for lungs, this is good for heart, this is good for breast health, and you can just listen and lean in to this part of your body that is so beautiful. Little belly drumming. Again, this is a little bit organ cleansing, and it feels so good. So I'm still cupping, and I'm doing some very safe lymph work. Super, super, super gentle. I'm going to gently go down the inside of my leg to the inside of my knees to build some blood, the outside of my knees to build some energy, the back of my knees for my bladder channel, come up the back of my leg, and then I'm going to kind of reset my pelvis. And I'm going to shin my hips. This is actually a gallbladder point, right in the sciatica, and it often gets tight. So it's a good point. Your gallbladder may just have too many things to do. So you're checking it for balance. And then back up to the kidneys as they need one more round of let's just bring the mind, body, and spirit into a place of harmony, peace, and happiness. Namaste, and she just means thank you. Thank you. I pulled 4 cards. We often pull cards in our class. The first one is, it is safe to look within. The second one says, I choose balance, harmony, and peace, and I express it in my life. I am safe, it's only change. And I trust my inner wisdom. So thank you all so much for exploring. Do you have any questions?
It was great.
So Wednesdays at 1 is Zoom, and Fridays usually at 1, tomorrow in person outside. And good job, everyone. Thank you so much, Cassandra.
Thank you all so much for joining us today, virtually and in person. It's been a really, I hope you'll find that it's been a really, really replenishing evening. This is so lovely to spend this time with you all. Thank you so. Are there any questions for anyone before we go? And for those of us online, if you have anything to share in the chat, you're welcome to as well. Have a blessed evening. Thank you all so much.